Hey guys, Anish Majumdar here, career coach to the fiercely ambitious, back at you today with a video that I hope is going to raise some eyebrows, is going to challenge you, and above all, is going to help you get better outcomes each and every time you are pursuing that next career opportunity, whatever it might be. Job opportunity, consulting opportunity, business opportunity, deal, whatever it is. I want you to pay real close attention to these three areas I'm about to discuss with you. And I want to go over why it's not only important to have clarity in these three areas and not waffle on them as you're going through, but also by extension, the deeper power that we're talking about. Look, there's a lot of BS out there, and never more so than in the career world. Somehow, like when HR and corporatized thinking gets in the mix, all of the human dynamics, the things that actually make sense, simple, common sense thinking that moves towards an outcome, that gets thrown out the window. And then weaker personalities bandy ideas back and forth that don't help you. I'm not interested in that. So let's just share one thing off the get-go that is going to put you in the right mindset here, okay? There is a huge world of influence that you can exert to rise way faster than you ever thought possible if you understand this. In hiring, in corporate America by extension, there's a lot of emphasis placed on hardline details, things that I can see in your resume, things that I can see in your background, right? There's a lot of secondhand recommendation this, recommendation that, assessment this, test that. But you know what's getting ignored in all of this? Behavior. Behavior. Let me give you an example. You're in Las Vegas, okay? You're having a restaurant. Well, you know, one of the things that I find very interesting about that town is that sometimes people will come in dressed sort of like you don't know what's going on. Like, are they 2 weeks away from being homeless? Or are they like a startup, multimillionaire, right? You can't tell based on the clothes, right? But you can tell based on the behavior. Right? How relaxed are they when they pursue that menu and when they order that wine, right? What's their attitude in terms of how they're interacting? It's all behavior. And in hiring, choosing to display and utilize different behaviors is oftentimes the difference between perceived at this level and being perceived right here. And if you know that from an experience level you're already playing here, chances are overwhelming that it's the behavior piece that has yet to shift. You're still coming across in your attitude, in your mentality, and how you're interacting like how you were 7-8 years ago, even though you're not there. But the details have changed, but your behavior hasn't caught up yet. So understand, like, it's one of the major reasons I've been able to gratefully succeed as a career coach and spend my time working with people like you and making this shift happen. It's because I came from acting, I came from different paths, and it was all about behavior then. So when I came into this journey here and I look at people trying to get a hold of this hiring, I'm like, excuse me, is anyone paying attention to the fact that the reason this guy has been out of work, it's not because of his resume or his LinkedIn. He's coming in there already browbeating himself, displaying massive insecurity and looking like he's going to add problems, not take them away. This man will never succeed. It has nothing to do with his job title. It has nothing to do with his career journey. No one wants that. Is anyone talking about that? Let alone is anyone telling you, hey, you can shift those things and activate that superpower every single time. You've got to play ball behaviorally at the level you want to be. Otherwise, forget about it. Okay? The same you of 5 years ago cannot be the same one who shows up there. And I think you know that, right? So what are the three areas that will help you sort of gel in this, okay? Because these are three areas that you really need to have clarity on. And by having the right clarity, you'll be able to display the right behavioral signs here, okay? At least when it comes to these three. But look at it as a jumping off point. Three things that you have to be really crystal clear on before you go into any meeting. Number one, the number. The number. And I don't mean like the market value of what I do is 150, I'm going for 150, or I'm going to be really exotic, I'm being 160. I mean a number that really thrills you, a number that actually gets you excited, a number that makes you say they're going to have as much skin in the game as I will to solve this, a number that's going to make all the Friday nights and sometimes Saturdays and sometimes Sundays worth it. You're not going to say, oh, they're not paying me enough to do this, right? What is that number? And you can use pay scale resources, salary.com, Indeed.com, Glassdoor.com. These places can be very helpful in terms of getting a general view. Like, hey, you know, CTOs, which is the range I'm targeting, living in San Francisco, make this amount. So if I pad on a little bit here, I got a number, right? But really make sure it hits that criteria of really doing it for you. Don't BS yourself and don't play a downwards negotiating game with yourself, okay? There's plenty of that to go around on the outside world. Don't add to it. So number one, getting clear on what is that broad strokes number, you know? And one thing that helps is refusing to dice it up between salary and benefits. Like that's way too early anyway in a conversation. But I'm just saying, like from a general standpoint, I'm thinking $500,000. That's what I'm thinking of, all in. You know what I mean? Like when we talk about everything. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, let's talk further about it. Let's talk about what you guys are dealing with, because I don't even know at this point whether that would be valid or not, right? But have that number. Okay, whatever it is, there's no wrong answer. It just can't be lower than what you made. It can't be the same as what you made, because you got to give yourself an uptick the longer you've been at a company, okay? The more you're missing out on in terms of that, and it's got to actually do it for you, okay? And beyond that, whatever that broad strokes number is, just take it all in. All the comp, all the benefits, all of that in an ideal world, boom, what's a number, okay? And just be clear with stating it. No waffling, you know? No between 250 and 350, you mean 250, right? No between 450 and 500, you mean 450, right? So just skip all of that, give them one number that actually works, okay? And just be confident in terms of delivering it and avoid the urge to supplement the why. Don't say anything. This is what I'm looking for. This is the broad strokes area I'm looking for. And let them come to you where they want to go. And then hold the line on not going more detailed until you know more about this opportunity, pain points, etc. Okay? Number two, purpose. Okay? And what do I mean by that? Do you fold like a cheap suit if someone asks you, hey, you know what? You're looking for a job, aren't you? Just send me your resume and I'll forward it along, right? That can't be the first goal when you're largely getting to know people at the high level, because it's just a transactional relationship. So if you're going to go out there and build relationships, actually stand for it. So if someone actually tries to cheapen it, and instead of getting to know you, instead of you being able to ask questions, figure out what's going on, and add value in a deeper way, they try to basically punch you off by saying, yeah, look, like I'll make you an introduction to my HR person because you're job seeking. Make it clear that is not the purpose here. I wouldn't know where to begin. But here's what I would like to do instead. And then give them a rundown of what you would like to do. But hold that line, okay? You cannot get the big brass ring by being transactional every step of the way, because people see through that. So absolutely make it clear in your heart and your strategy that the first time you're getting to know someone, there's going to be nothing about that. Nothing about, hey, are there any jobs here or any positions that I can fill or anything like that. It's going to be predominantly about getting to know this individual, asking the right questions, demonstrating your expertise that way. And if it makes sense, based on what you uncover, using that towards whatever that next step may be. But don't rush the game. Okay? The higher up you go, the more you've got to delay that gratification. And I know people aren't saying that. People are wrong. All right? And when it comes to the outcomes, you've got to be absolutely clear that if you're questioned, you can say, yes, this is what I'd like to do. No, I'm not here to just bamboozle you into a job. That's not what I'm here for. But is it about opportunity? And if I have an opportunity to contribute in a higher way, will I? Of course I will. Without a doubt, right? Do you see the difference? Okay, here's the third one. That you've got to get clear on before you pursue any offer, okay? Are you willing to take 50% responsibility for the outcome? Because if you are, you can never go over there, slide over a resume, and just passively, you know, Mr. Burns, like in The Simpsons, twiddle your fingers, right? You're taking 50% responsibility. That means you're getting clear. What are we looking to accomplish in this upcoming call? What are some things that I can come to the table prepared with that will help you move this forward? What are some questions that I can have? If we're going to do a follow-up a week from now with the CEO, what are the goals of that going to be? How close are we getting here? What more do you guys need? Are there any concerns that have been popping up that I can preemptively address right now, right? I'm dealing with this like the success or failure of this moving to an offer and us getting everything that we need. I have 50% responsibility, which means I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid to say no. I'm not afraid to redirect as we need to go, correct? So get absolutely clear on that. Get clear on the reasons why you need to take 50% responsibility here. Get clear on all the ways that's beneficial for everyone. Really write down those reasons and then go right in carrying that belief right in there, okay? So outcome, purpose, number. Those are 3 things that you've got to be clear on. Otherwise, they're going to get clear on it for you, and you will not like what they come up with. All right, hope that helps. The next stop for those of you who want to go deeper with me, helloanish.com, HELLOANISH.com. You're going to see more videos, more training, more stuff you're not going to see anywhere else. All right, really appreciate you taking steps. Stay hungry, steps, keep hitting it. All right, and keep the questions coming. Talk to you soon.